So see, Joseph Kennedy, yeah, not trying to say there's anything wrong with having liquor, but this was in the Prohibition era. The Kennedys are linked. I'd say they are mafia. They're Irish. This has all been some Irish and Italian mob war since JFK. But it's not just that, because there was an Operation Underground, how the Mafia and U.S. government teamed up to win World War II. So do you see now why Trump is saying that he wants to send many of these illegal immigrants? Because I'm sure there's gangs all over the world, and they've all descended upon America. They have been for a long time. Look at the 5 gangs of New York, okay? The 5 mob families of New York. Gangs, what was it? Gangs of New York movie. It showed that all of these people descending on America from these different gangs, whether in Italy, Ireland, all over the world, Honduras, take your pick, MS-13 from Venezuelan, okay, all descending on America. And that's why Trump's like, no, we're getting this crap out of here. Yeah, it's time to. Yet these stupid people, and I don't know if they're stupid or they're just criminally minded, these people that get in my comment section and want to carry on about Trump and the military and water in California. Like, really, you have to ignore all this. They have to ignore the declassified Operation Paperclip. Think of that mindset. Seriously. That was a declassified information, Operation Paperclip, that came out a long time ago. But because of the media that I believe, at this point, I'm starting to believe Americans are more propagandized too than China. I am. It's that bad. It's so bad. And even in that article, which I'm going to read a little bit more from, that Irish man was saying how Americans are like, all they want to do is put JFK on some pedestal instead of wanting to see the truth. Because what our media has done to us is told us, no, you're the freest country. You're the ones that are told the most truth. No, we're the ones that are most propagandized too. So then when these people get in my comment section and say stupid things like they think the big problem is Trump, it's like, how can you not see we had a problem long ago? Most of it's been declassified, and the only reason they don't want to declassify everything with JFK is because it's all mob. Kennedy's part of the mob. It was a war between Irish and Italian mobs, and the CIA and certain FBI people being tied to the mob. I mean, the mob has been controlling America. So I support Trump in wanting to get the filth to Guantanamo Bay, get the curse off of America. And there's been enough people, reputable people, that have written about this, but because our media never touches on it, or maybe they do a 30-second clip of it, they keep us Americans stupid. So then that's why I wonder when these stupid people, or just criminally minded people that are liberals, get in my comment section and think Trump is the bad guy here. It's like, are you kidding me? You're literally this stupid, or you're criminally minded. It's one of the two. It's absolutely only one of the two. So the rest of this article that I couldn't finish before about what the connections between the Kennedys and Whitey Bulger, it goes on to say, by no coincidence, a story was planted in the Irish Examiner on March 14th, 3 months before Bulger's arrest. The title, Joe Kennedy was no angel, but neither was he a bootlegger. Is that a headline? Sounds more like a plea. Returning to Whitey Bulger, an Irish mobster killing with the assistance of a squad of FBI dedicated to his service by Robert Kennedy and J. Edgar Hoover, with the express aim of removing the Italian competition. Why only now, in his 80s, has Whitey been fingered? Did his FBI minders of the past 4 decades lose track of him? The 2 American journalists interviewed on Irish radio said he was already pleading senility and was certain to escape trial. He has been discovered now so that the FBI can close the book on a sorry chapter while saying that they did eventually get their man. The Irish radio presenter had no questions about the extent of the Irish mob, what became of Bulger's organization, the surprising parallels with the origins of the Kennedy family fortune. As someone living in Dublin during the biggest financial and political crisis since the decade of Bulger's birth, I can tell you the Irish don't ask awkward questions. They don't ask awkward questions of each other. They've learned to stick together on both sides of the Atlantic. It is undeniably true that the history of the Irish Mafia is not quite as visible in Hollywood as the history of the Jewish Mafia, but I'll let the argument rest. If American movie and television producers are willing to forego all future reference to the ethnicity of gangsters and mobsters, period. You might search Wiki for mention of the Irish Mafia, and you will find the Wiki page is frozen due to an ongoing debate about whether the page should be deleted. One contributor says it's unfair to categorize mobsters by ethnicity. Ah, shucks. Tell that to the Italians. Seems the mob is always Italian, not Irish, never Jewish. I mean, this is the most fantastic piece I've ever read because it's so dead on. So, a little bit more here. In this highlighted part, I know this is not newly released, nothing like that. Mafia and CIA linked in JFK murder. The CIA released this in early 2000. But the amount of times in these documents, like there's one about how, Sinatra was connected with the Mafia, that CIA definitely was connected to the Mafia. And the continual stuff they keep using is underworld figures. What gets me is all these mentions in the CIA documents about these connections with underworld figures. Again, because of the Bible, it's just, you could say, oh, that's just a term they're using. Yeah, what do mobsters do? They kill a bunch of people, so they would be sons of perdition. Just all of it proves the Bible, in my opinion. It just does. We have the mob running America, running the world. Part of this article, though, what it talks about with JFK, CIA, and Mafia is that the day that JFK was shot, there were mobsters there. Like it says here, the Smaldones family. Yeah, the Smaldones family. You try to click on any of the, you can't find anything. Some of them went to jail already. They were out of Denver. And some of them. So it says here, let me go up a little bit here. Also identified in a photo of those nearby the presidential motorcade was a parolee with a criminal record as long as your arm. Approved Eugene Hale Bradding with a record date back to 1934 was allegedly associated with James the Weasel Fratiano, a well-known mafia figure linked of gangland killings, who was then of the Smaldones family of Denver. In 1963, Bradding was living in Los Angeles on parole at the time. He claimed to be an oil prospector and obtained permission from his parole officer to visit Dallas on a business trip. He was scheduled to be in Dallas only for the day of November 21st, according to records. He was supposed to be in Hudson on the 22nd, the day JFK was shot. Why did he stay on in Dallas? It is known he did visit the offices of a huge oil company on the 21st. It was later admitted by Jack Ruby that he visited those offices on the same day. Did they know each other, and did they meet to prearrange a plan? And did they speak of the assassination, which was to take place the following day? Ruby told the Warren Commission that he had visited the Hunt Oil Company offices on the 21st to get a job for an attractive co-ed named Trammell. Goes on, yeah, it's just all these, it's all mob connected. And I think definitely when it comes to JFK, it was a war between the Irish Mafia, which the Kennedys were connected to, and the Italian, and CIA in the mix of it all.